Hey, tonight I'm going to be talking to 3 of the creators of the Cthulhu Invades Oz, a 140-plus page graphic novel that's available right now on Kickstarter, and that's all coming up now. Hello, this is Dirk Hooper, and welcome to the first episode of Indie Hype for the Task Force Geek channel. I'm going to introduce my guest tonight. My first guest is Travis Gibb. Oh, I did it wrong. There we go.
Oh, hello.
And it's going to be one thing or another tonight, folks. Right. Also, I have Stonie. How you doing, Stonie?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Task Force Geek fans know Stonie. He was on episode 22, by the way. And he's back tonight.
Absolutely.
All right. And also we have Emily.
Hi.
How you doing, Emily?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. I'm doing good. Besides technical problems, I'm doing okay. Yeah. So what we're here for today is to take a look at the Cthulhu Invades Oz Kickstarter. And what I want to do first is go to Travis and ask him basically how did you come up with this idea, and how did you start contacting people for it?
So I was viciously attacked by an octopus while reading a Wizard of Oz novel. So I was sitting there, and the octopus tried to attack me, and I just decided that this is meant to be. No. I love Oz. I think everyone loves Oz, right? You grew up with it. No,
yeah. I
was looking for something to do with my friends that could tell one narrative and put it all together. So I decided that one thing that does really well on Kickstarter is Cthulhu. So I was like, what if we mesh these two together, tell one narrative, get all the best writers that will talk to me and artists, and see what we can come up with. And this is what we come up with. It's a 145-page graphic novel that tells one narrative. It is an anthology, so every person has one character, but it tells one cohesive story from beginning to end.
How did you start going around and contacting people to do this sort of thing? Do you just kind of grab one person and you say, hey, look, I got this person involved, maybe you'd like to get involved, or do you post it up on a board, or what was the process there?
Yeah, I didn't post it anywhere. I didn't take submissions. That was one of the things, and I think that's one of the reasons why this book is so successful. A lot of these anthologies have a lot of problems that go into them, or it's not finished when they launch. We're not that. We are 100% finished. We're just doing some edits. We have a couple stories that were late adds because of the Kickstarter, but those are one-page stories, so they'll be finished within the next 3 days. But what we did that was really cool is I started asking all the biggest guys I knew. So John Crother is one of them who I asked. John Crother is a guy who does a lot of wrestling. So if you're into wrestling, he does a lot of wrestling biopics. He's got a Kickstarter right now for Gangrel, and he did Jack Swagger, and he did the Killer Bees,
Yeah.
And, yeah. A lot of the old guys.
That's
the
cool.
Russian guy right now. I don't know why I can't think of Russian man. So I asked him.
Rusev? Is it Rusev?
Rusev. No, not Rusev. The original Russian.
Oh wow.
Can't even think of his name. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's not coming to me either. Hey, if anyone's watching this and you know the answer to that, go ahead and chime in. Or if you have questions for any of these creators, please send it our way, and I'll put it up there.
Please, I am struggling. It's really, he's got the big hat and he does it. Killiquowski.
Oh, yes.
Killiquowski. He taught Triple H, my favorite wrestler.
Right,
anyways, right. Richard Rivera does Stabby Bunny from Scout. I asked him. I asked a handful of people, mostly Florida people, to start because I'm from Florida and I met them at cons. We had a good relationship. But then I spanned out of people who I saw that did really good stuff on Kickstarter, like Greg and Lisi's and stuff like that. And even people like David Galliano, who hadn't even had his book out yet. He had his book Savage Bastard that hadn't released yet.
Right.
But told me he was a good comic writer. I was like, yeah, you're in. And he brought Stonie Williams with him, another Mad Cave guy, which was crazy.
Right.
So yeah, it ended up when I did all the math, it ended up being 52 creators. We're actually at 54 now when we finally.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
One of the things I really like, I mean, I've read about halfway through it. I finally had a chance to look at it today, and one of the things I really like about it is the cohesive nature that it has. You framed it by having different days, with a little poetry. Did you write those poetry pieces?
I didn't. I hired a guy named David Gressel. He's got four separate books of poetry. He's a local guy. He's a good friend of mine. I wanted something to break it up and give some familiarity. When you're reading H.P. Lovecraft, you get poems, right? If you read Cats Cthulhu, it's very poetic. It's very romantic in style. And not all of his writing. He's not like Edgar Allan Poe, where everything's a poem.
Right.
But he's got a poetic style. So I wanted something to help bridge these gaps. Drinking on the stream, I approve. Thank you. I appreciate it. I am drinking Yingling Hershey's Porter. Highly recommend.
Nice.
Highly recommend. It's chocolate. I only drink dark drinks.
Thanks for chiming in, Mard Bliss.
But yeah, it was a really good mesh of how we did it, and it really helped fit the flow. And one of the cool things that I want to share that I haven't shared anywhere, this is an exclusive to this stream.
Awesome.
The final day of the invasion is going to be our backer count. So whatever backer count that ends up. So let's say we ended today, it would be at 478. So, it would probably be in the 500 somewhere, or maybe 600 if we get lucky. 476, sorry. So our goal is that's how many days it takes for Cthulhu Invades Oz. But the reason why we put those timestamps in is it was to help allow characters to be in different states of mind, right? When you first see the Scarecrow is stabbing somebody. That's not the way you see Scarecrow. And since we're only writing short stories, we don't have time to explain what exactly drove him to that point. So I wanted to give some time so stories can be added later, or you can build your own stories in your mind. We built this with a sequel in mind for both Cthulhu Invades Oz and for other potential sequels.
I also really like the fact that you have so many different art styles. I mean, if you're into, graphic novels and seeing different art styles and stuff, man, this has a lot of cool art in it. Tell me a little bit about, how you paired, like, did people pick characters or did you assign characters depending on the artist?
So I allowed basically, to be fair, I allowed the bigger names to pick first and kind of went down the list from there.
I get that, sure.
Kind of where people are at. Some people brought their own artist team on. Some people needed to be connected with artist teams.
I see.
That's how Stonie got involved. David didn't have a team. I got him an artist. He was like, I've got a colorist, and we kind of built teams as needed. So it was on a case-by-case basis. But yeah, we filled it out. Our goal was to make, one of the cool things that I did is I wanted to make the main characters have their own the bigger names. So, Dorothy, Lion, Witch, Scarecrow, all that, had the main writers. But it ended up not working out that way, and it ended up being beautiful. Jonathan Hendricks had very few books out. Right now, he's one of the biggest writers today because his book, The Recount, came out at a time where the recount is a big thing that we talk about on the news every day. So he ended up doing Tin Man. Chuck Pino did Scarecrow. Then we had Richard Vera do the Lion, and then I did Dorothy. So that was and Russell T. Niltes did the Wicked Witch. Or Russell's known for bigger Kickstarters. He does a Cthulhu Kickstarter that raises 30,000 plus every time he does it.
Well, I mean, for being a bunch of different writers and a bunch of different artists, it is very cohesive, and there's a nice little tone that runs throughout the entire book, which I think people need to know about. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, you've really come up with a great concept here that not only is fun to read, but also is right on target with Kickstarter. I mean, let's be honest. Anything Cthulhu does really well. By the way, I wanted to ask everyone, how do you pronounce Cthulhu?
I pronounce Cthulhu.
Okay.
Cthulhu. Yeah, Cthulhu.
Right.
Emily?
Emily, are you?
Yeah, Cthulhu.
Okay. Because some people have very different. I looked
We
it
all
up,
have tried
and there's like they drop the "ka" entirely, and they just say "Cthulhu," and then there's another version that is supposed to be attributed to Lovecraft, which is like really guttural. It sounds like Klingon, which is like, I don't know. I'm going to screw it up, so I'm not even going to say it. But it's an interesting way. I just thought it would be fun to see how everyone pronounces that.
Yeah, I've had some people call it Cthulhu with a CH in the beginning.
Right.
So, yeah, like a lot of different ways people pronounce it.
The greatest thing, though, it's public domain now, so whoever
Yeah.
says it more wins. So,
That's right. Whoever says
right,
the
yeah.
most air on this subject is going to win this. Is going to win this debate. You
That's
know,
right.
and what's interesting about Lovecraft is he designed like the original Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, where like he really wanted other people to interpret this world. That was one of the things that he set up. He said, you know, I've created this world. Here it is. You know, you take it and run with it. So what you're doing is very much in line with what Lovecraft intended.
right.
I think that's pretty cool. All right, Stonie, let's talk to you for a moment.
Absolutely.
Thanks, first off, for getting us all together here. I know that you were the connection here, and I appreciate that. I also want to give you some credit. Online, you are like, you hustle so hard promoting stuff. I mean, seriously, you are online all the time. I mean, I'm online all the time, and I see you also online all the time.
Mhm.
Sharing
Yeah.
people's stuff, commenting on things, making sure that I mean, not just your stuff, that everyone's stuff is getting a little bit of time and love and attention. So thank you for that, and much.
Well, I appreciate it, and
props to you
I
for
try
doing
really
that.
hard to lift everybody else around me up, and I am online pretty much all the time. Being a stay-at-home dad and a professional writer kind of helps with that a little bit. So,
Bard Bliss says, "I vote for Squishy Slimy Monster."
yeah, that
That
works.
works.
Let's see. How did you get? I mean, you're a writer. How did you get involved in coloring on this comic?
So, David Galliano is friends with Travis, and they got together for the project. And I had just started coloring. I hadn't even done it for months yet, and but I was sharing stuff that I was doing, and David liked what I was doing. He said, "Hey, we need a colorist for this. Would you like to do so?" And David and I had talked for the better part of a year about wanting to do something together, wanting to be on a project and see our names on the same page in some sort of anthology. But at the time, it was all as writing credits. But here was a unique opportunity for us to be on the same story, doing different things now that I've started coloring. And I learned a lot. I had a lot of fun. I got to work with Craig Florence on the art, and getting to work with his art was incredible. I absolutely love his style. I really felt lucky for that to be one of the first things that I worked with. I worked with a couple of other of the colorists on the book, and they kind of helped level me up and give me tips, and I learned a lot from them. And there were things that I couldn't have learned any other way. Like I've been watching Kurt Michael Russell on YouTube, and I took some of his classes.
Yeah.
I absolutely love his streams.
Me too.
He'll answer any questions, and I've learned a lot. But as much as I've learned that way, the practical application of the thing is much different. And so there were a couple of conversations I had with different colorists on this project that they would explain something to me, and I'd go, right, and it works this way, and we'd have the conversation about the technical aspect of it, and they go, yes, you're right, you're correct, you understand this, that's not what you did. So I was able to look at it from a different point of view and be able to learn the experience of actually applying this skill. And as it's gone on, I've learned so much, and I'm really honored and privileged to be a part of this project, to be quite honest. Yeah,
no doubt. What did you use? What did you use a program to do this?
Procreate on my iPad.
Procreate, all right.
Yeah, I've got an Apple Pencil, and I've tried using Photoshop a few times, and sometimes I'll switch back and forth for certain things, but mostly Procreate.
I think Procreate's pretty good.
What do you like better? Do you like coloring now, or do you like writing better?
There are two different parts of my brain.
Yeah.
And I mean, writing is where I'm focused. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to be known for. But learning how to color, and I've also started learning how to letter, I think can also make me a better writer and better at scripting and writing for the rest of the team rather than just for the editor or for the reader. And so I love them both, to be honest. Like I said, there's two different parts of my brain. If I'm, stuck at writing or I'm just not in the headspace for it, I can shift gears and color for a while. And it's something I enjoy doing, that I think is fun to do and fun to play with and try new things. And I'm constantly learning at. So it's hard to say that, if I like one over the other, but I think writing is where I'm most passionate about.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a way for you to be multi-useful, right? I mean, they can kind of plug you into some more places.
For sure. And I mean, it opens up other opportunities. I mean, with my art, which is a weird thing to say, I still have this hard time struggling to consider myself an artist, but with my coloring...
Man, if you're making art, you're an artist.
Very true, but harder to flip that switch in your head,
I got you.
But I can showcase my coloring easier than I can a script I'm working on or things like that. I can do things more immediately and show that off. And I've got an art station, and I post my coloring relapse videos to TikTok and I'm on Instagram. And so and then again, it opens up opportunities like this. And I was able to get in on this project and get to meet Travis, and it opens up other doors and brings eyes on me that normally wouldn't have, in ways that they normally wouldn't have. And so I think that learning how to color and, again, learning how to letter, makes me kind of a, Swiss Army knife, that I can do a lot of different things, a lot of different projects, and open up doors that otherwise I wouldn't have even had the opportunity.
Right. I have a couple of your pieces, and we'll show some artwork here in a minute. I want to say that I, as an artist, as someone who's messing with coloring myself right now, I'm going to use a word here. I think that your coloring job on there was sophisticated.
Well, thank you. And again, I have to give credit to everybody but me, honestly. I learned so much from Kurt Michael Russell and a couple of gentlemen on the project, Alan, and I worked with another gentleman, and his name just escapes me. But yes, absolutely. Yes,
Mark says writing is art. That is true also.
But I have such a hard time considering
not a visual
myself
art,
an
though.
artist. Yeah, right, yeah. But it's a strange thing to wrap my head around. But thank you for that, sophisticated. That's a wonderful compliment. Thank you.
You're welcome, and I mean that. It's subtle and cohesive, and good work, man.
Thank you so much.
Tell me why people should pick up this book.
This takes two franchises that you might be familiar with, at least on one side or the other. Sometimes you know both, but you don't know them this way. You've never seen them like this before. This takes these two worlds and smashes them together, and you get to see familiar faces in ways and in situations that you've never seen before and may never see again. This is it affects everybody and changes everybody involved, whether it be the Lovecraftian creatures, the people of Oz, or the reader. You're going to be different after you finish this. It's incredible. I keep saying, Travis's idea was equal parts brilliance and insanity, and it's got so many incredible names on it from across indie comics, just powerhouses, and new talent like Emily here, and it is, like you said, cohesive as a story, not just the story element and the overall plot, but all together the different pieces fit so well. And that comes in two parts. That's a testament to Travis and the editors that he's chosen to weave all of these things together. But also, we had a production group on Facebook and we were able to share things and as we progressed and moved things forward. And so it was a unique experience to have all of these different people support each other, and 50 plus people supporting each other, and sometimes giving suggestions and helping people level up, and sometimes it got a little competitive, and somebody would share a page and somebody would go, I've got to redo mine, like mine's, I've got to be that level, I've got to raise the bar a little bit here. And but everyone was so supportive and fans of each other, and we wanted this book to be the best that it could be, not just our parts, but for everybody. And I think the end result shows that.
Man, what a great answer. Emily, I'm going to you next.
Hi.
Tell me how old you are.
I'm 15.
15.
I was 14 when I did the art in this book.
That's very cool. How did you get involved in this project?
I believe we were at one of the comic nights where we all meet up and talk about comics every once in a while.
Yeah.
And Travis brought up that he was making a comic, and I was like, oh, I could do like a pinup or something in it. And he was like, you could do an entire comic if you want.
Wow. And so he just offered it to you there.
Yeah.
You did Dorothy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not small potatoes.
I know. That's crazy to me.
You got the big character.
I did.
And you lead the book.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really awesome.
Me too, honestly.
Tell me about the story that you worked on.
Okay, so the story I worked on is called The Sellout, and the basic premise is that Dorothy, she's doing her daily routines when she consistently runs into different Lovecraftian creatures, and the more she gets to know them, the more she realizes, they're not good. They're not trying to be friends with her, like she's trying to be friends with them.
Right.
And, eventually she comes across the most evil of them all, and in order to save Earth, she has to sell out Oz.
Wow.
Gives them the shoes.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah.
For Dorothy and for people who like the Wizard of Oz. It has kind of a little dark turn there at the end, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I really like your art. It's very colorful. It's very expressive. Tell me a little bit about how you got into doing art and what you've done before.
So basically, it started around, I'd say the third grade-ish, was that I had these friends in Sunday school that I haven't talked to since. Which is odd. Like, they were two sisters.
That's the way it happens.
Yeah, they're two sisters, and they drew a lot of anime. And I was like, that's really cool, and I want to know how to do that. So I would look up, like, YouTube videos and, look at books at bookstores and not actually buy them, and
Right.
stuff like that. And I just kind of taught myself how to draw. And I remember one day when I was 11 or 12, we were at a free comic book day at one of our local comic stores. And I noticed that there were people doing like free sketches for other people.
Yeah.
And I was like, that might be fun to do. I turned to my dad. I was like, can I do that? And he was like, I don't know, ask somebody. So I turned and I asked somebody who turns out to be the owner of the store. And he was like, yeah, you can work here. Like, you can do sketches for people. And I was like, oh, cool. So, I mean, that's
how you got started.
Gig, yeah. And then
So,
I've done like I've done a few pinups, or just one.
You've done 2 pinups
I've
this
done
year.
2 pinups for Broke Down. And
No, you did 1 for Broke Down, so 2 pinups this year. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I did
Let's
1
see.
pinup for Broke Down and 4 Dead Bodies, right?
4 Dead Bodies number 3.
Yep.
Number
Did a
3.
Kickstarter exclusive for Dust County Chronicles, Nightfall number 1.
Yep.
And a pinup in Scout Comics Kyra Alien Jungle Girl trade number 1.
Mm-hmm.
You've been busy.
Someone does some research.
Hello.
Hey, I can remember that
Hello.
on my own. I have my mom to help me.
What program do you use a program, or do you do analog work?
I mostly use Clip Studio Paint. Sometimes
That's what I use. I love that.
April Side 2 for shading because I like their shading options better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's cool. And how have you always done digital art, or did you start out doing, stuff on paper and pencil?
I've definitely done more traditional art than digital, but I'm mostly digital these days.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty good with traditional too.
Was it a rough transition going from traditional to digital?
Not particularly. I mean, obviously with every single color in the rainbow at my fingertips, at first it was a little rough considering I was 11.
Yeah. It's like too many options.
But
true.
After a while, I slowly upgraded my tablets and got better.
Mm-hmm. What are you using now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm using Galman. Oh, what's it?
I don't know the model number.
I don't remember the model number, but
It doesn't have to be that specific. All right. Okay. That's good.
No, I want to know the model number. I would actually like to know if I needed to return it, what kind of returns I can make. I need to know this stuff.
The serial number.
I'll send that to you when I send those 3 numbers on the back of my credit card.
There you go.
Getting them in the same thing would be really helpful to me. Thank you.
Emily, how do you feel about being involved in this project? This is a big deal. You did a whole story. It's actually, how many pages was it?
I believe, right?
Was it 8?
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good sized story. And how do you feel about being involved with all of these other people?
It's exciting, and it's a little strange that there's like so many older people than me that are technically like my coworkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just odd because y'all don't really treat me like I'm that much younger, but I am.
Well, you produce the work. I know a lot of people that struggle getting to 8 pages. That's no joke. So, you did the work, and it's good work. So congratulations to you.
Absolutely. That deserves respect.
I will also point out maybe we shouldn't treat you so closely as a coworker.
Right.
As someone who has a daughter who's 19 and still regrets certain things.
2 inches around.
Peter, I'm not scared of you. I'm scared of my own conscience.
No doubt. All right. So to everyone, let's talk a little bit about the Kickstarter and kind of the different tiers and some of the things that you're offering. Anyone can take that.
I think they want me to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Travis, you know more about the
have at it. Yeah, have at it.
So there's 3 different covers. I struggle for 8 pages. Congrats. See, Fat Finley has a problem.
Right.
That was really hard to say. I was not trying to insult you. That's just your name, sir.
That is, I know. That's actually one of my buddies. That's Scott Prime, who needs to change his doggone name.
Right.
Oh, Scott. All right.
Sir, don't be so hard on yourself.
He's at about 6 pages on 8 right now. So yeah, it's not easy.
Right. Is that someone who owes you pages? Because normally those are
he
the
doesn't owe
people
me pages. Actually, I'm inking his deal, so I owe pages. I can't owe any stones here.
All right. So this Kickstarter has basically 4 major tiers. Basic is digital, right? $12, you get the digital. It's beautiful. It has all the wonderful, cool things that a digital has. Number 2 is we have the soft cover. It's called the Orange Cone Edition. That's the one that's exclusive to the Kickstarter. It starts at $29, and then we have various upgrades. Ones that have like a print, one that comes signed by at least 5 creators. Starts at $29, goes up. What's cool about it is a beautiful cover, and it's UV coated with raised UV. So you're going to be able to
that's nice.
Touch and feel it. That's what makes it special and exclusive to the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
The next level is the hardcover. So the hardcover starts at $49. That's a hardcover. It's a beautiful hardcover book. It's hand painted, which is really, really cool. It's on like a canvas of an Oz book. He bought an Oz book on Amazon and used that as a canvas of the background. So you can actually see some of the pages through the painting. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece. And then the last one is the retail tier. So we have a retail tier that has, a different cover that's for the retail and direct market. But there is ways, we have collector's boxes and stuff to get that all together. So, basically the two major book purchases are $29 or $49, and then there's various upgrades depending on what you want to spend. But there's two pledge levels that I want to highlight for a minute. One is called the Bloody Brick Road. So what it is it's a mystery bag that comes with your book. It's $47. So you get the book, and then you get 3 books from any of the creators in the book. So it could be Stonie's Villainous. It could be My Voodoo Nations. It could be a Loggerhead from Brian Silverback. Could be Richard Rivera's Stabby Bunny. All of them will become signed. 1 out of 10 will actually have an exclusive sketch cover of a number 1, and you'll get all that for $47. So if you back stuff on Kickstarter before, you're normally about paying $20 a book, plus and you're getting a trade for $29. So it's a really, really awesome value of books you probably don't have.
Sure.
The other one we have a Christmas special. We have a Christmas special that I can't remember the price off the top of my head. I apologize.
Nothing says Christmas like Cthulhu.
Right, exactly. And because of that, we're going to send the person who you buy this book for, your friend, family, coworker, enemy, whatever you want to send it to, we're going to send you a Christmas card. Send them a Christmas card with the digital download and let them know the book's coming in February with 5 Christmas tags. And we have a beautiful picture on it. The picture is Cthulhu doing yes, there is international shipping. It's $30, but we always throw something extra into our international shipping. So extra stuff just because we know that you have to pay the extra, so we do throw that in. Yep, there it is.
Real Oz, is that Australia?
Yeah, Bliss's in Australia.
All right.
Yes, we love to ship it to Australia. I love Australia. Literally, seriously, for Broke Down and Voodoo Nations, half of my fans are in Australia. I don't know why. I don't know.
Hey,
clearly,
that's great.
I speak to Aussie people. They clearly resonate with me.
You need to go there and hang out.
That's right.
I do, and I love the comedian. I can't think of his name. There's a comedian that mocks Christianity, actively. I can't think of his name. Chris. I can't think of his name. Maybe Mary can tell me. He all of his songs are basically about mocking Christianity. He even played Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar, which is pretty cool. But anyways, he's a funny comedian. I'm gonna find him later and make sure that's good known.
I can never come up with names when I need them on these things. It's terrible.
I'll do it in a minute. But anyway, so yeah, we have the Christmas with the 5 Christmas tags and everything. We'll get that out to them before Christmas. The book is scheduled for February. We're trying to get it sooner. But I'm going to be honest, I've never done a trade paperback before. So I'm going to go back to the well and actually get proof sent to me, make sure it looks right, make sure it feels right before I give the okay. Just because it's the first time. On comic books, normally people love backing my Kickstarters because I normally start shipping 3 weeks after the Kickstarter ends. Because my books are always complete before I go launch.
Tell me how close you are on this Kickstarter.
We're not. We need 20,000. So if you just have 20,000,
if you could just all in one pledge.
All in
That's
one
right.
pledge. Just if you're rich, and got something to do. No, we are at. What am I at right now? We are at. Sorry, it's loading. $18,604 with 477 backers. And 3 days to go.
You're about $1,200 shy of where you need to be. I'm an artist. I'm not a mathematician.
14, Dirk. By the way, Dirk, I didn't get to say this joke when you were on the air, so I need to know.
All right.
Is Dirk Hooper an Oz name? Are you from Oz? Because that sounds like a name in the book.
I've heard that before. I've heard some other things too. It's Hooper. It's 2 O's and 1 P. So it's Hooper instead of Hopper.
Hooper.
All right.
I've got a story about a Hooper. So in my hometown, there's a gentleman. He's autistic.
Of course.
You're like I'm not loving this story. But he rides a tricycle, like one of those big tricycle bikes, around, and he's the nicest guy in the world. He'll stop and want to talk to you. Everyone knows him. Everyone takes care of him. The city like went ablaze once because he was lost and wandered off, and like was like, "What is going on? Where's Joe Hooper?" So your last name comes with a lot of clout. And
nice. I'm glad that precedes me. Let's see. I want to show some artwork from this. I'm going to take this banner down here for just a second and run through this artwork and then get some, because everyone wants to see the artwork on these things. You know how this thing goes. So
Dirk, we show the whole thing. If someone wants to freeze it the whole time, more power to them. If you're that broke and you want to freeze
I just grabbed a few things, and you guys can chime in and say whatever you want to on this sort of stuff. I love this cover, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And you did a great job on the logo, too, I might add. As someone who kind of digs logos, you did a good job on the logo.
Yeah, we're really proud of it. This cover, what's really interesting about it is it was actually last minute, which is super crazy.
You're kidding.
It was last minute. He did it 4 days before the campaign. I looked at my covers and I was like, you know what? They're too real and not comic booky. I don't know if you get the other guys here, but they're too real and not comic booky. I need one to be comic-y.
Right.
And this was, so I knew a guy who was very, very talented. He refuses to work with me on pencil, not because he doesn't. He apparently has his own dreams, Dirk, and wants to write his own thing, whatever that means.
What is he thinking?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Just work for me. So I'm like, hey, what? You want to be the main cover of a book?
Creators.
With tons of creators? She's like, yeah, I do. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. You'll work for me yet.
There's another one. Also, kind of a painterly cover, a little bit more along those lines.
Yeah, that is the one that's hand painted. As you see the Oz in the background, that's actually because of the book. Those little lines under the wings are because of the book. Those are like lines from the novel, like words.
Cool. Jerry is vouching for me. She says Dirk Hooper's also one of the nicest guys in the world.
That's true.
So
I'm
maybe
still going with Hopper, but I'll take your word.
Hey, what? I'll take it. Just say nice things about me. That's all I am. I love this. Look at this. Very nice.
So what's interesting about this? This was the first image that I bought. So if you take out the Wizard of Oz characters, that was an image that this guy created. He had a wizard going against Cthulhu, and I said, I want that.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to add the Wizard of Oz characters. He's like, what? Yeah. And I want the Yellow Brick Road. And I want the Emerald City.
The Yellow Brick Road, yeah.
He's like, so you want me to redraw this? Yes, but with the Wizard of Oz.
Yep. That's what you get with some of these things. Here's some promotional pieces for some of the stories, like that.
Emily,
that's your story.
Art.
If you
Emily, talk about it. Talk about the deep one.
So the original description of the deep one was basically giant fish man. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make that a little more interesting. So I based him more on an axolotl.
Who is that? Say it again.
That's a deep one.
No, who did you base it on?
Oh, a sea creature called an axolotl.
Okay, interesting.
A form of lizard.
Very cool.
What I love about your stuff, Emily, like this facial expression, even though he has no face, is hella advanced.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
I don't think you realize how advanced that is. Like,
yes.
Giving a face without a face is nearly impossible for someone at your age level. Like, It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I mentioned and want to really stress is how expressive your work is.
Thank you.
Some people have, really technical stuff or it's, whatever, but your stuff is really, it's super expressive and that works well for comics. I mean, I don't have to tell everyone here how good expressive stuff is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's the Tin Man story. I love that. He's got that axe going.
So I don't know what the inspiration for this shot was, but it always reminds me of that scene from Reign of Fire, the dragon movie.
Yeah.
Jumps into the dragon with the axe. Yeah, that's what I think of every time I see this.
Good stuff. I like those rows of teeth. That is super cool.
That is literally. This is literally my favorite single image in the book. Like I
Yes.
love this image. It's going to be used on our metal bookmarks. It's just such a beautiful, epic piece, and that version of Cthulhu is something I've never seen before. You can tell it's Cthulhu, but I've never seen him like that before.
Yeah. Any Toto fans out there? Toto has an interesting arc in this. I won't say any more.
But I will say it's been a concern before on other streams, so I want to make everybody know and set minds at ease. Toto survives.
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
it was. There's been some people that were really, really worried about it. So
we had to go through the whole book to prove it. So he was back. It was a big issue.
You gotta treat those pets right, folks.
That's right.
You don't want any problems with people.
Yeah.
How about that, man? Speaking of coloring, man, the coloring on this is, and I really like the simplicity, but again, technically super awesome. This is a great piece right there.
Yeah, one of the things that we did is the easy way to write this book is to have everybody affected by Cthulhu's invasion. Like everyone has their interesting response, and we did that. So everybody got to respond their own way on how the invasion happens. But what we also wanted to do is show how it affects Cthulhu, because this invading Oz is silly by nature. It's designed to be silly. I wouldn't say, it's in, unlike, let's say, Wonderland. Wonderland's like mad, like it's crazy. Wizard isn't crazy. Wizard of Oz, the Oz universe isn't crazy. It's just silly. Even the bad guys, like the Gnome King and the Wicked Witch, she's mad about shoes, and so it's silly. So we wanted to show what happens to Cthulhu. So Cthulhu becomes more and more silly as the book progresses because he gets affected by Cthulhu magic.
Interesting. Yeah, that's one of the great juxtapositions that you have here is you have that darkness of Cthulhu versus the silliness, what you're talking about, and the familiarity. I mean, almost who hasn't seen or read The Wizard of Oz. So you have that familiarity too, where these creatures are invading this world. It's pretty impressive. Yeah. Jeree has a comment. She says, "Emily, so proud of you. Respect is earned."
Thank you.
Right. I think you have earned her respect. Does that come with like Christmas cards with money or like?
Unfortunately, no.
Like, what does that get? Like, does that mean like if Emily was in a fight, would Jerry be like, "I'm going to defend her"? Like, I need to know. And how does Stonie and I get that respect? Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Where does? Think about us. Think about it.
I'd absolutely jump in a fight with Emily, but I can't name 3 people that would jump in a fight for me. So
right.
See how that works? Respect. Yeah. How about this, folks? That's good stuff. And this was, I love the look of this. It's black and white. It has what are these characters called? Rollers? Is that
Wheelers? Yeah.
Wheelers. Yes, Wheelers. I love this story. It's very, very cool. It's very, very much up my alley. How about this stuff? Who is this guy? This super cool dude.
So I can't. I don't see. I'm trying not to spoil anything.
No. You don't have.
No.
That was a rhetorical question.
We've got to do it because Cthulhu people love it. That is a very, very famous Lovecraft poem for people who are deep cut Cthulhu. Deep cut.
Okay.
Cthulhu.
We like
this.
that.
This gentleman's called the King in Yellow. He is very, very. He's been used a lot in backstage of some Marvel books and DC books over the years. Like he is dope as hell. And
all right.
The King of
I can see that. He's owning that.
Right. So the Cthulhu people get to it and be like, what?
All right. That's interesting because I just talked to a guy who wrote a comic called Isadora, who is connected to that character.
Oh, okay.
So,
cool.
So she was like a herald of the What did you say? The Yellow King or the King?
The
of
King
Yellow?
in Yellow.
Yellow.
Yeah, Hastur is his name.
Okay, very interesting. So that kind of completes a circle for me. Again,
Yeah,
like
and
you
most
said,
of the
like
time
that
you
deep
see
cut
him,
stuff.
when you see him, most of the times you see him in Cthulhu Invades, he's a guy in a yellow hood normally.
All right.
Which he has the yellow hood, but this guy took him into a different interpretation, and I love it. This is Tyler Carpenter. He's an amazing artist, and these are. I'm going to say something. Tyler Carpenter's best work has been for me in their shorts. Again, people just need to work for me, and there won't be a problem.
See what happens?
Sorry.
See what happens? And finally, we have the watch, which is colored by Stonie here.
That's right. Drawn by Craig Florence, written by David Galliano. And I freaking love this story. And that shot, that first panel there, everybody says looks like just a great album cover. Like they are about to just drop the dopest album.
It does.
And yeah, great stuff. I loved these characters. I loved this story. I'm just everything about it. I just absolutely loved. I couldn't get enough of it. So,
Isn't that the
color
sickest rap
job-
album that you've ever heard?
absolutely.
Literally. I feel poor looking at that thing.
Mard Bliss says that's nightmare fuel right there. I think that was on the previous
Yeah, with
the
the
previous piece.
Yeah.
No. Nightmare on My Street, which is a rap song from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, is what he's talking
Yes.
about because it's an amazing rap album, and he's just.
there you go.
Let's admire the bomb diggity coloring job here by Stonie. Just suck it in.
You know, I had a lot of fun on this. I had a lot of fun playing with the water and the deep ones on the bottom. I had a lot of fun trying different things and experimenting with it. And yeah.
Scott Prime is often touting how much color makes a difference now. You know, how you can set a mood with stuff and how much rendering and how much extra things that the color brings to these things. Yeah, you did it on this one.
It's a blessing and a curse learning stuff like this because now I notice stuff that I wouldn't have before. Like stuff that I just, my eye would have just glossed over, my brain would have filled in before. Now knowing more technical aspects behind it, I notice things a lot more and can point stuff out. And so, yeah, blessing and curse, I think.
To everyone, what have you learned through this process? I mean, this is a big project. You've worked with a lot of people. I just like to get your thoughts on kind of what this project has taught you.
I'm going to let them go.
Anyone? Okay. Emily?
Well, I'm galaxy brain, so I really never learned anything ever.
Galaxy brain. I like that.
Can confirm.
Shut up.
Can confirm.
Probably that what's the word I'm looking for? Communication
Yes.
is a lot more important than I thought.
It certainly is.
Probably just that. I mean,
Turned in 8 pages. It's going to be published. Pretty big deal. Great.
She actually turned in 9. We actually you haven't seen it, but we redid a page just to highlight her art. Her art, since we did this, like if I had her draw those 8 pages now, they would be so much better if you can believe that somehow.
It's always the way it is.
Yeah.
I don't want to redraw them because it's like a time capsule of when I was 14. Like I just want to leave it alone,
Yeah. And that's always the way it is. I mean, you draw 8 pages, and at that last page, you're humming along, and so the next 8 pages you do are 10 times better, and it's just that's the way it works. That's the way it works. Cherie says, "Yep, I will defend Emily, but also proud of Travis and Stonie. You're clearly encouraging her. Good job, gentlemen."
Ha! We're not gentlemen.
Danny says,
Danny.
"Sup?" Stonie, you want to talk about what you've learned on this, or any
I've learned
thoughts?
so much about applying color and getting to see approach a project from a different point of view. As a writer, and that's all I've done. to get to be the colorist and see it from a different point of view was really cool, a really neat experience. Getting to work, I had a unique experience with Villainous because there were some hiccups in the beginning, and then COVID hit, and so I didn't have the same collaborative experience you normally get with a comic book. I mostly just dealt with my editor, and our artist didn't come until much later. I was done with the scripts by that point. So getting to work with David and Craig from pretty much the word go was awesome, and getting to throw ideas back and forth, and watching David develop his script and dialogue and stuff, and getting to throw ideas back and forth, and then the concept art part was a lot of fun to play with, and different color designs. I did half a dozen different designs just for the Rose Princess, and that was a lot of fun. I learned a lot that way, and getting to see this group come together and support each other was amazing. Like I've never seen that before, and I just learning from Travis doing these streams and promoting and some of the back end for Kickstarter stuff. Like when I finally decided to do Danny, thank you, checks in the mail.
Danny's got some kind words for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, they are garbage. More than Hendrix, nothing.
Who are these great guys are all around?
The back end Kickstarter stuff. When I finally get to do my own Kickstarter, I've learned so much from watching him and the stuff that he's dealt with inside. So it's definitely been an experience.
Yeah, Travis, have you ever done anything like this before?
I've never. This is my first comic book ever. It was shocking.
What the?
In fact, I don't even know who these people are. Like they just they're like, you have a voice. We think you're a good hype man. Can you talk about this book? Like you're just a puppet. And if it flounders, we're gonna blame you.
You're the fall guy, really.
Yeah.
So no, I've learned so much. I'm used to doing this on my own. My artist for Broke Down and 4 Dead Bodies is from Indonesia. My letterer is from Canada, and his primary language is French. And my colorist is American, but he suffers from cancer, so sometimes he's out. So I'm used to plugging this thing away alone, just getting it. And I'm used to funding in 3 days. So to be 3 days from funding, like 744 days in, like feels like it's exhausting. And then having to get hyped up and hype other people up, right? So, every morning I got 4 or 5 texts. Hey, do you think we're going to make it? What do you think? How are we going to get there? Blah, blah, blah. What does it look like? And being confident and encouraging everyone and making sure that we can get this and getting us on shows, not having my own chance to panic. I mean, I have so many more gray hairs than I ever had. So yes, I have done anthologies before, but I've never done one on this caliber. I've never had this many creators. And it's so interesting. The people like Stonie out of nowhere. I didn't even know each other. The only interaction during the creation of this, because every team kind of ran themselves, is Stonie. I came to him very, very humbly. I was like, hey man, these colors aren't quite ready for prime time. And it wasn't that they were bad. It was just they weren't ready for this caliber of book. Can I get you in touch with a couple people? And I got in touch with one of my guys. And on his own, Stonie even got more in contact with somebody else. And kind of between the three of them came back with amazing stuff, which was awesome, which is really one of the things that Stonie talks about with the collaborative process. It was in my right to just pull him from the project, but I didn't want to. And I had no idea that he did Villainous. Zero idea that he had any clout or any name to add to his book. I just knew he was David's friend. I was like, yeah, whatever. You can bring your friend. It's fine. But then watching Stonie care so deeply about this book and getting us interviewed, watching Emily be up late at night with her dad, streaming, and they did a Twitch last night or even today, to get these things going. And some of my friends who I see hyping their own projects all the time are nowhere to be seen. It's so interesting. And I'm not even trying to insult them. It's just interesting to see. I still love them. I'm sure they've got stuff going on in their life. There's no issue. There's no responsibility to that. If the book doesn't fund, they don't get their copies and they wasted their time. That's on them. That's not on me.
I mean, with 50 plus people, shouldn't you have 50 people pounding the pavement?
You would think, but
all
that
at the
is
same
not the way it
time?
works.
That's the way I think. You got 50 soldiers out there.
You would think, but it doesn't really work that way. And what's interesting too is people, because people are people. So I've got messages.
Yeah.
Such and such is not promoting. I was like, yes, he is. He's just promoting on Twitter. You're not on Twitter. Oh, right. Such and such is not promoting. Yes, he's on YouTube channels doing stuff. So people think other people aren't promoting. They're just doing within their capacity,
Mm-hmm.
Right. And hey, promotion's it doesn't come naturally to anyone, I mean, it takes a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a struggle. So that's what I learned. The other thing that I learned is just having something so recognizable that people love. Right? We've been on these shows, and there's been times when we've been attacked, not unhealthy attack. They just want to know that we get it right.
Yeah.
They're like, did you know? What about the slippers? What color are the slippers? I was like, silver. The slippers are silver. Oh, that was a trick because it can't be ruby because that's in the movie. I know. I did my research. I'm like, you're a king in yellow. Who's this? That's a king in yellow. They try to trip you up, and it's not a negative thing. It's because they love it.
I love
the last thing I want to say about it, which I really love and I learned through this, how beautiful this piece is and how important it is, and I didn't realize it at the time. For the 52 creators that are here, let's give generous. One of them will probably get to do a Marvel or DC, a big two thing. One of our 52 at best. And that's actually probably not even realistic. And not that they're not talented enough to be there. It's just, the amount of people they need versus the amount of people who want that spot.
Sure.
Yeah.
But this was an opportunity for a lot of these people to play in things that they love.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what we got in the comics. We wanted to tell our stories, but some of us wanted to play in sandboxes of things we love. Mm-hmm. So they got to play with the Tin Man, or play with the Scarecrow, or play with Munchkins, or Cthulhu, or the Wicked Witch, or Dorothy. They get to write a small little piece of history in continuity and build something great. And that's something that I learned and really has been really impacting me. And it's such an honor to be able to do that. I wish these creators were alive so I could thank them that, hey, we love playing your sandbox, and we hope that we did it justice and we did right by you.
Let me get a few comments here and we'll wrap things up, folks. Danny says, Emily is great too. Travis, meh.
That is also true. I learned that as well.
Mark Bliss says, can we have a moment of appreciation for all the awesome beards on this stream?
Yeah.
All right, Emily, show us your beard.
Yeah,
Beardcast.
Yeah, no, Dad, come in here.
Oh, there we go.
BeardCon.
Yeah, beard by proxy.
2020.
I want to point out that me and
Long enough to put into
I got the missing spot. And it looks like Stonie has a missing spot too. He struggles a little bit there.
Yeah, it's blonde, so it's doesn't show up.
Yeah, it's hereditary for me, and it's annoying. Like I want a beautiful, like Dirk. I want a beautiful full beard.
Yeah.
Like a man instead of just this little bit that reminds me that I'm just a little boy.
When I first started growing facial hair when I was 16, it would only grow in tufts on the sides of my chin. But I loved those tufts, and I grew them out and groomed them. And
I was growing hair here when I was 13, but losing it here.
Yeah,
so there's the trade-off, guys.
Yeah.
There's the trade-off. Danny says Travis is the world's best hype man.
He really is.
And he also says that the Marvel deal, like maybe someone or Marvel DC, someone getting their shot. I've seen the artwork. I've seen the writing. I think there's a real possibility this is good quality work.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely just huge talent on this book for sure.
Well, and based on how Twitter feels about Miss Marvel right now, I mean, all of us can make it.
Wow. How long have you got? I guarantee you, everyone here can turn in some better work than what we're seeing online, folks. It's not good stuff. All right, let me hear kind of your final your closing argument for people rushing over there right now, and picking up this book.
Yeah, so Stonie won't stop sending me inappropriate pictures, and he says he will keep sending them to me until he's done.
Right now.
Just like Stonie.
and my wife, she's going. I keep telling her that like he's just messing with me. It's not anything, but she's starting to question. And I've got a baby. I've got a 1-year-old baby, and I really want to keep my baby. And I don't want her to send me to Ohio or Kansas or wherever Stonie lives. I don't want to live there. I live in Florida. Please don't let this happen to me. Please.
Wow. This is the best sales job I've ever heard. Help Travis out, please. Come on.
I don't want to lose my wife.
Have a heart.
Second reason, if you want more of a business reason.
Sure.
Not that you need one, because my ply is very important. This, because of the deal and because of the creators in here, I don't know how many copies I'll be able to print up. I've got to pay people. I've got to make sure people take me. I'm not taking advantage of anybody. So if you don't get it on this Kickstarter, I'm not sure you're going to be able to get it.
Yeah.
Like really, because I don't have
the stuff you love, folks.
Mm-hmm.
You have to support it.
Where odds are, if we're not going to get a deal like a deal at SourcePoint or Scout or any of these things, would take a lot of work because I have to go to each individual creator, ask permission to use their story, and get all that to done. And I don't know if that's going to be possible. So this is your opportunity to get it in the format that it is now.
Yeah. You got to do it. Anyone else want to speak on that? Closing statements on go buy this book.
Well, I think this is a unique. I warned you. Like, I don't know what. This is a unique book with a unique idea, with a unique cast of talent on this book, and you may never see something like this, quite like this again. So this is the opportunity to grab it while it's out there.
Yeah, Emily, any thoughts?
I represent the youth of America. If you do not buy this, you are denying the youth of America. Do you want to be that person?
That's so good.
Well, we lost that person who wanted to get it from Ozzy, but other than that.
I did not hear a word either of you were saying. That all melted together.
I said we lost that person who was going to back us from Ozzy based on that comment because they don't care about America, but other than that.
Wow. Just think about the children. So important. So important to think about the children. Here, Con.
If I could just interject on my aspect of it too, because I've got a copy of it, obviously in PDF at the moment. I've been kind of helping try to proofread that sort of thing, and I'm a reader, a big reader. I mean, I've got some books behind me here, but it's a very small representation of what's upstairs. And I've reread this for pleasure already. Yeah. I mean, that's how good this book really and truly is, and I have no actual skin in the game. You fund this book, I don't get paid. My kid does, but I don't. So it's really, really good.
I totally agree. I just want to put a few words out about this. I've always liked anthologies, collaborative work and stuff. I remember back in the 90s, they had something called A1 that had a bunch of stuff in it and had just some super cool artists and writers and stuff in this. I think it was produced in the UK. I don't think we get enough of that sort of thing. This is 52 people that got together to do this thing. But unlike A1, it's cohesive. It's a story that runs throughout the entire deal. And it's really good, folks. It's really, really good. I think you can see, just go to the Kickstarter page. Follow the link that's down below. Go to the Kickstarter page and just they're giving away so much. I mean, there's like whole stories they're giving. I've never seen this before. They give away whole stories on this thing. They're showing you what's in there. I don't know how you can go to that page and look at the quality of the work that's there and not, really want this thing in your collection. Are you kidding me? It's really good work. It's by there's a lot of diversity here, a lot of different types of creators, a lot of different types of art, different types of story. There's poetry in here. It's a slick production. This is worth your time and money. Do not walk, run to the link below, which is Cthulhu Invades, and go buy this book. They're so close. You have to support the stuff you love. How can you not love this project? Are you kidding me? Get out there and do this. Do this. Do it for the children.
Do it.
As Emily says, do it for the children.
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah, we need that. We need that. Just do it.
I don't have that. I wish I did. All of this link down here. Does anyone have any final thoughts that you want to say?
I never have any thoughts.
You have. I think you've had plenty of thoughts, and they were all really good, Emily. I'm going to give you the credit here. Oh, we have one more comment. I'm going to say that before we wrap it up. Higher levels on the Kickstarter are unavailable, she says. I guess you guys have sold. Have you guys sold out of your higher levels?
I mean, there's $1,000 level. I know that's not sold out.
Maybe Jerry just took care of that for you. You're not sure exactly what she's saying. Anyone else want to say anything before we wrap this up?
Only thing that's sold out is our early backer rewards. So we had some early bird specials. Those are the only thing that's gone. Everything else should be there. So I'm not exactly sure what she means, unless she's talking about, I don't know. They're there. Right. I promise you.
It's still there. Everyone go take a look at it.
Yes, I promise. They're there. Just click on it. To buy and take out your credit card, swipe it, put in the numbers, choo. If you want to just give me your numbers, I'll just put you in for what I think you deserve. Do me a favor, take a picture of your car so I kind of know a gauge of what you have in your bank account.
If you're driving a Tesla or something, you get the $1,000 gig.
I'm gonna put it a little higher. I'm just saying.
All right, folks.
Yeah, Jerry. Yeah, everything's there. I'm not sure what you're talking about. The best deal, like if you want a higher tier, there's a $169 collector's box that gets you all 3 covers, gives you metal bookmarks, holographic stickers. But if you're looking at something affordable, you can get something as cheap as $29. So anything in between there is fine.
Yeah.
If you still have problems with it, message with one of us, and we'll try to help you out.
Hey, why don't you quickly say what's your any Twitter address or anything, any places where people can get in touch with you? Travis?
Oh, all right. So first, it's very important. The comedian that I was thinking of was Tim Minchy.
Okay.
Minchin.
All right, good.
If you don't know him, he's fantastic.
I'll look him up.
See, Merritt said Travis definitely looks like a trustworthy guy to give his credit card to. Exactly. Make sure you also take a picture of the back. I need those back codes.
That's right.
It's important.
That's where the magic happens.
That's the moment.
Jester Lou is my Instagram and Twitter. And Facebook, just find me at Travis Gibb. And literally, if you guys have any questions, we've got 3 days left. Please ask them. I'll respond very, very quickly.
3 days, folks. Don't sit on this. Stonie, you've got your deal right there on your.
I've got my branding down. BaldBeardedBard across social media. You can get me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, ArtStation, TikTok. I'm trying to get more and more involved in that too.
I'm telling you.
So
Stonie's on it, folks.
That's right.
Emily, where can they find you besides on here?
You can find me on Instagram and YouTube at Emily Riesett, Riesett.
That's awesome. Thanks to all of you for being on here and giving me your time. I sure do appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Really,
you're welcome. And good luck on this project. I really want to see it funded seriously.
Thank you.
And I can't think of a time when I had more fun doing one of these interviews. So thanks to all of you. All of you. Send your friends.
Absolutely.
Send your friends. I want to do more of these.
Oh, well, that's the problem is Stonie is the only person who knows anybody. The rest of us are just...
that's true.
He does know everyone.
We just sit around and go, Stonie, what should we do today? Then he sends me an inappropriate picture, and I have to explain to my wife, and that's my day. He doesn't even have to explain. He's like,
hearing about these inappropriate pictures. It sounds
I'm going to F up your marriage today. That's what I'm going to do.
See, what Travis doesn't understand is we secretly signed him up for Stonie's premium Snapchat.
Yeah. That's because my OnlyFans. And,
that's right. That's right. You didn't give us the link to that, Stonie. That's the one we want. That's what everyone wants.
It's coming.
Raw Stonie.
Stonie, raw and uncut.
Uncut. Live. Completely lost control.
There's a 14-year-old girl here.
Emily's really regretting it. He's just the last time she's
there. Her dad is right there.
Yeah, I always actually it's funny because I didn't with you, but I usually start these things out by saying, "Listen, she's probably already heard worse out of me today. So don't worry."
I just worry that your mom is eventually going to go, "Hey, can we talk?"
Enough of this rapscallion activity.
You have your own daughter. How dare you talk about that this way? You're right. I'm so sorry. I'll just cry in tears.
Mark wants the OnlyFans, Tony.
Bliss,
you're leaving money on the table.
I'll be the one to leak it. Don't worry.
I beat Mark to the.
Emily's gonna leak.
Ronnie says hi. Ronnie, we're just about to wrap this up, buddy. But it's nice for you to check in.
Can you stream? Hold on, I got a question. Emily, if we Stonie's your fans only, can you stream it on your Twitch channel? Does that work that way?
Yes.
You've buried Stonie. We don't even see him anymore. Look at him. Wow. Thanks one more time for everyone. So,
thank you guys.
I'm getting out of this before we get in trouble. Before the FTC shuts us down or something.
The dad's there. It's approved, I guess, or something.
Hey, one more time. Go to this address, folks. If you haven't already gone during this stream to check it out, go to CthulhuInvades.com and go bid. Let's make this thing happen. It's still got 3 days, so even if you see this on Sunday, Monday, whatever, get over there and do this, please.
Thank you.
All right. I'm wrapping. Oh, we got one more comment. More comments. OnlyFans content is against Twitch terms of service, so that's not going to work.
That sounds. Bliss, how do you know that? That's
deep knowledge. Just saying.
But what's the point of having a Twitch then? Really? People really want to watch video games.
What kind of dog and pony show do they got going on over there? Really?
Right. This is Amazon. Like they've got to get into that market somehow. Like.
Yeah. Stonie is the key to success. More Stonie. Much more Stonie. You know what I'm saying?
It may not be what you want, but it'll be all you want.
Oh, we have a streamer on Twitch. We have a streamer. What's your Twitch? We need to know. You've invested in us this whole time. We need to know. OCC, what do you stream on Twitch? See, look at the interest.
So I know Bliss does Twitch. She does video games, Elder Scrolls and Dead by Daylight.
All right.
So that's what she does.
All right.
I mean, we can play Among Us. That's about the technologically as high as I can go. I play Apex.
Everyone else is doing.
If seriously, Travis, I know it's all like live show and
I
stuff.
know. I'm just busy running a Kickstarter. I will play Among Us with you, Peter. I promise.
I can play too.
Damn it. All right. We will. Stonie, once the campaign funds, can you set up, because you were better than all of us, can you set up an Among Us group on
I
on
will
our
absolutely. We will do at
Cthulhu
least
Invades
us,
Oz Among Us.
maybe a
right.
Cthulhu Invades
Blitz
Oz
loves
Among Us.
Among Us too. You've already
All right.
got a whole group
There we go.
lined up. They're ready
Yeah.
to
But
go.
you have to be a backer because we'll post it on our backer group of when we're on.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's it. Yep.
You got to be a backer. That's the only way you'll know about it.
Cthulhu Invades Oz.
That's what we're here for.
CthulhuInvades.com.
Everyone, look, we want to hear from you. If you watch this afterward, please leave us a comment or something below. After you go pledge, leave us a comment below. And if you have a question or something, you can send it to us at taskforcegeek@gmail.com. We'll answer all of your questions either on here or on the episode that we run on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Central. Thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks also to Emily, to Travis, and to Stonie. You're all awesome. Thank you, and thanks to everyone who chimed in. Until next time, this is Dirk Hooper saying, dream hard.